Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee out here today by my fire pit. I've had a lot of people ask me questions about my fire pit, how I built it and the different things that I use it for. And I never thought it was worthy of a video by itself because it's basically just a hole in the ground. But I've had so many questions on it, I'm going to do a video just specifically on it. I'm going to explain a little bit about it, and I'm going to go over some of the details of how I made it. This fire pit is years old. Me and my wife were actually talking about how long we thought we've had this fire pit up here, and it's probably been up over 10 years that some configuration of that guy right there has been sitting in my backyard. And there's really nothing that I can't cook on this fire pit with the wood that we have available to us around here. The one exception to that is maybe pressure canning. I don't think I could maintain a hot enough fire under this to pressure can for a long period of time, but I'm certain that I could hot water bath can on this fire pit if I had to. So I'm going to turn the camera around here. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it and explain to you how I made it. And the first thing that I want to mention before I get going here on this video too far is the fuel that you're going to need for a fire pit, or the fuel that I use for my fire pit. And my fuel of choice is firewood. And what I have in here is small, dry, split pieces of ash. And this is what I use to fire this fire pit. Now, I've actually kind of figured out about how much wood that I have in this old truck toolbox here, and if I cook conservatively, simple meals, I probably got almost 2 weeks worth of firewood in this box right here. And every time that I use wood out of this box, I split more and I put some in. I keep it different sizes. I got some small pieces here for starting out, and then some larger pieces for longer fires. I also got some little homemade wooden hooks in here for cooking different things too that I made. But anyway, you always want to have a quantity of wood ready to go, especially because this fire pit here is basically my off-grid, one of my off-grid cooking techniques. So if there would ever be a power outage or something, I've got my my fire pit here that I can cook on, and then I have fuel ready to go at all times. And taking a step back here, this is my fire pit and how I got it configured right now. I got my some little pieces of log furniture there that I just rough built so I can set stuff on while I'm cooking. And this circle right here is the main circle of the fire pit. This is about 42 inches across, and it's 2 layers of landscaping stone. And this is basically how it started, and then over the years I added the different things to it to make it work more efficiently for me. I started out, I dug a hole about a foot deep, about the center circumference of the ring there, and I put 2 rows of these landscaping bricks down. Now, I've seen a lot of fire pits where people will put these 4 or 5 high, and that's really too high for cooking, because once you get your little fire going, if this the side walls of this, and you want to lay a grate or something over top of it, if that's too high, you won't have enough heat to cook. So that's why mine are only 2 high. And after I had the hole dug for this fire pit, I actually put a pail of gravel down in the bottom of it. Now this guy right here is getting pretty full of ash. I'm going to probably clean this out, and when I clean this out, I take about 6 inches of ash out of this. And I also got small pieces of flat stone in the bottom of this, and I keep them in there if I want to set something specifically in this fire pit and keep it kind of up out of the ashes while I'm working. The next thing here is the pedestal. The pedestal is something that I added a couple years back, and I actually can configure like a small oven or rocket stove on the top with these fire brick that I have here. And these fire brick are kind of handy because they hold the heat. I've actually made small individual loaves of bread and different baked things and different cooked things with this fire pit up on the pedestal here. And all that is that's a couple of the landscaping stones that I put out, and then I put a couple flat ones on, and I put a couple old like discarded cement blocks on here to give me the height that I needed. But I can actually make a little rocket stove. I can do anything that I need with these fire bricks by just configuring them different ways. And then I have my grate, and all that is an old grill grate. I just clean it up from time to time, and I can either cook directly on this grate, or I can use this as a platform to set my cast iron on, which is what I do most of the time. And to hold that grate up, I have a couple pieces of just re-rod. Like the gravel for the bottom of the fire pit and these landscaping stones, this re-rod, you can just get this stuff at a cement plant. If you got a cement plant in your area, it's actually a great resource for preppers and survivalists that want to have this kind of cooking arrangement here, because you can just grab a few things that you need right there, and they're very, very inexpensive. Also a shovel. This is my one of my cut-off shovels that I have here, that I use that to either tap down the fire, or to, more importantly, to move coals around. So if I want to put coals on top of a cast iron lid or something like that, I've got a short-handled shovel here that I can use to maneuver around. Again, that's just a cheap shovel from the hardware store with the handle cut off. You could even use one that you got at a garage sale or anything like that. Another thing too is when you put a fire pit up in your backyard, you want to have a certain amount of water available to you in case you got to put something out in a hurry. You can do this with either sprinkle cans, or in my case, I actually put this close enough that I can grab the hose from my house, and if I got to put a fire out quickly, I can have my hose here. So if I got like a long all-day fire going for some reason, I'll have the hose over here as well. And then the tripod. This is just a camping tripod that's got a permanent location in the backyard. When I first built this, I was thinking maybe I was going to do a wooden one, but I didn't want it to deteriorate because I figured it was going to be out here for a long, long time. So I went and bought a maybe $16, $18 at the time aluminum tripod, and I just put the thing together and I just leave it up here all the time. And that's nice with a piece of chain, because then I can adjust the height of my pots. I got several cast iron pots, several bush pots and stuff that I use on this, and I can constantly move them up and down depending on how much heat that I need. With these guys right here, and those are just S-hooks. I have several different S-hooks. I even carry some S-hooks in some of my packs to hang stuff. I can just clip that in the chain, and that can be moved up and down where I need it to be. And I can also smoke in this tripod, and I have smoked quite a bit of stuff, whether it be fish or jerky or sausage. I've done all that on this fire pit here as well. And how you do that is you hang your stuff, and you cover this with a wet drop cloth, like a canvas drop cloth, and you start your fire in the beginning, and you have a little teepee hole at the top for the smoke to escape. And I accomplished that by, again, more re-rod. I've just wired pieces of a re-rod on the tripod here, and then I can just lay the meat that I want to smoke in the center, and then I can just go ahead and soak some wood the night before and start a little fire, and I can go there. I don't need anything fancy, and as long as you prepare the meat correctly, you don't have any problem whatsoever as far as smoking it in this type of setup here. But this is basically my little fire pit and my little how I did it and how I put it together. But I have cooked just tons of things on this fire pit over the years, and there's really nothing, like I said earlier, that I can't cook on this, with the exception of maybe pressure canning. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick look here at my fire pit. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Like I said, this video here is specifically because of questions from my subscribers. So I hopefully I explained this good enough so you guys can get some information out of it and apply that information to your own situation. And you guys have a good day.